Hi everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial. So today I'm showing you how I make my stickers. So this is just an example of the stickers that I have in my Etsy and my Shopify store, which is Madebytaylahrose.com. So I'm doing a couple different types of tutorials today. One using the Cricut with vinyl paper, and then another with using the Cricut again with a different sort of vinyl paper and laminate, and then another one which will just be using normal sticker paper, cut those out by hand. So there's a few different options that I'll be showing you guys. So there are cheaper options you can do to make stickers if you don't want to spend money on a Cricut or spend money on even an iPad or expensive like vinyl papers and stuff. There's heaps of options out there. So yeah, I'll start by showing you how I make the vinyl one. So I'm using an iPad Pro for this, but you can use really anything that you can make designs on. Like you can use your phone. There's heaps of free apps you can use. I use Procreate, which is, I think it's a paid app. I think it's not too much. I think it's like around $10 or so Australian dollars, and you purchase that and that's it. So I'm gonna make a sticker. So I've made a CMYK file. You don't use RGB because when you print, it like changes all the colors around because printers are CMYK. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've made that into the proper document. I've made them quite big as well. This is like a bigger than A4 size, just so I don't lose any quality if I scale my stickers up or down. So I'm just gonna make a really simple rainbow. I'm just gonna start by making this design. So I might just speed this up now. I've just finished making the little rainbow. I'm just going to merge these two layers together. As you can see, if I remove the background color, this is what it will look like. So now we're going to make like a white border around the sticker. So to do that, you want to add another layer and move this layer behind the sticker and make sure you clicked on the layer. Yep. And carefully draw around the outsides. If you have a sticker with like lots of edges, you would want to make sure that the edges aren't too sharp, the corners. So you don't want to like kind of do that sort of thing and have it like this, like that, because yeah, it just makes it really hard for the Cricut or like you to cut it. It like just leaves a sharp kind of corner it could rip. So you kind of want to make sure all corners like sort of smoothed out and whatnot. You can also do this like on really any other app, as I mentioned before, like Photoshop, or like there's heaps of actual apps you can get on your phone, so you don't have to spend so much money. Here we go. And I've just colored in the inside as well, and I'm just gonna check. I'm gonna remove the sticker, make sure it's all good. It is. Alright, so after you're happy with the sticker, what you want to do is save it as a PNG. So you go share, save as a PNG. And the reason that you save it as a PNG, not a JPEG, is because when you save it as a JPEG, it will save it with like the background like that. So you end up with a big square or rectangle around it, which is what you don't want. And by saving as a PNG, it'll just save as it is and just makes it easier when you're putting it into Cricut, or even if you put it into a Word document as well. So I'll save that. We'll change over to the laptop. So I've just sent my new sticker to my computer. So if you're wanting to do the Cricut part of this, keep watching. And if you want to do without a Cricut, I'll put a little timestamp below where you can jump to the correct spot. But for this part of it, it's for doing it with vinyl and the vinyl laminates, as I mentioned previous in this video. So what you want to do is you want to open up Cricut Design Space. I'm going to upload your artwork like this. So you got simple, moderately complex, and complex. I always choose complex because it just makes the images come out better. And then they're usually pretty good. You don't usually have to change anything. I'm going to click continue. Then you click print then cut image, because this one would just be the shape of it without the actual print on it. So you want the print and cut. You want to upload. Once the image is uploaded, all you gotta do is click on it so it's got like a green border around it, and you want to insert that image, and it'll come up really big. So you just want to scale that down a bit. You want to make sure it's a decent size. I usually do my stickers around 7 centimeters. So what you want to do next is add in a shape, a square. You want to unlock that one. Now I'm working in centimeters. I don't actually know if I can change it to inches, but for inches, it's around 9.25 by 6.75 inches. but for centimeters, it's around 17 by 23. It is like a little bit more than 23 and a little bit more than 17, but I just like to work off this just to be safe. So you just put that wherever. I'm gonna send it to back, then everything's on top now. So I'm just going to press Command C and then Command V with my Mac, or you can also do duplicate like that, just to duplicate these stickers. And this way you can put as much as you can onto this space, because this is the maximum space that Cricut will allow you to print and do a print and cut on. So I'm just going to duplicate these. So you can just like play around with how everything's laid out. Depending on like the shape of the designs that you're making and whatnot, you can probably fit a lot more on here. That's probably all I'm going to fit on there. So you can see I fit an extra one just by like moving some stuff around. Look at that. I don't like to waste tape art and whatnot, so I'll try my hardest to fit as many as possible. I'm going to delete this square in the back, and I'm just going to select them all like this, and I'm going to flatten them so then they're all one image. And I'm going to click make it, and as you can see they've all gone on the one page. None of them have like gone off and whatnot. And it's very important in that step to make sure that none of the white edges are touching or are like at least a couple millimeters away, because when you print it and cut it on the Cricut you might accidentally put it too close and they'll be like together. So now what I'm going to do is send this to the printer. So I'm going to do the laminated version first, which is with the matte paper. I'll show you that now. So I have two types of vinyl paper. I've got the matte vinyl sticker paper, and then I've got the vinyl sticker paper which is glossy, and I get both of these from Ink Ghost. So I've got a Canon printer. It is a TR8660. It prints from the rear and it also prints from underneath here as well. There's like a little slot under there. So I'll print that out. I've already got the paper in the rear. I prefer to print from the rear because it doesn't smudge or like leave like marks as much. What I'm going to do is send to the printer. I'm going to change it to the TR one. I don't want bleed, and I'm going to use system dialog. So what I'm going to do is select rear tray. So by selecting system dialog, it just brings up all the like options that you can use for a printer. So you got like medium quality, layout, whatnot. So, and I'm also going to choose plain paper, because if you watch one of my other vlogs, you'll know I've had trouble with this printer not printing the correct colors, even with CMYK, and I tried so many different things. So I've just given up, and I'm printing with plain paper rather than glossy. So I'm going to print that. Okay, so I've just printed out the first page. As you can see, it's got the Cricut line around here, which is what Cricut needs to be able to determine where to cut your actual stickers. So that one's printed out. I'm going to let that sit for a bit before laminating it as well, because I don't want any of the, even though it's dry to touch right now, like you can't really smudge it. I find that laminating works best when there's actually no sort of like wetness to the paper at all, because I find it might go crinkly a little bit. After letting that one sit for a while, I'm getting my laminating pouches out, and I've got my laminator all ready to go. Open that one up and put this one in. Now it's very important that you put something on the back of this if you don't have two sheets that you're putting in, because otherwise it's just going to stick to like this backing, which is sort of like rendering the sticker useless. I'm just going to use like a normal sheet of paper for this. Usually when I print out stickers in bulk, I'll have two sheets that I put together back to back, so that like doesn't waste as much, doesn't waste the paper, and doesn't waste this extra sheet, which will probably end up in the bin. So yeah, it is cheaper to do it with two stickers. So it will look like that. After that's laminated, I will cut it. I just have one of these. So what I'm going to do is just cut around the edges where it's like kind of stuck to each other, so then I'll be able to peel the pages apart. The reason I laminate is because it makes the matte vinyl quite glossy, and it also adds an extra layer of protection. The matte paper doesn't run, like it's quite water resistant. I've tried like without the laminate before, but it's more to like make it nice and glossy and like give it a nice finish. There we go, got our piece of paper, and as you can see, it's still got the sticker paper on the back and those on the front. So what you want to do now is grab your Cricut mat. I use green or I use the blue one. I've got both. And I always put the plastic covering back on because I just reckon it keeps it more safe. So I'm just gonna pop that on there. Also, I've seen like people that use the Avery laminating bits, which are just a clear contact. You can also use that, or just clear contact in general. In Australia though, I can't really find any of that Avery clear contact stuff, like laminating sheets. It's actually really hard to come by, which is why I haven't purchased those. And I find like this way just works just as well. And I have tried to find clear contact, except the ones that I purchased were grainy. So yeah, if you do want to go down the laminate route, you could also go for like a clear contact or the Avery clear contact laminate. After that's all done, take it back over to the Cricut. Now we're going to cut the laminate and matte vinyl paper. So I've actually made my own material. So I'm just going to see if we can have a look at this. So I've done one which is 2 cuts and one which is 1 cut. So that's the 2 cut, that's the 1 cut. This one is my favorite one because it cuts through really well. So as you can see, I've got the laminate sticker paper on 293 for pressure and 2 times. So it cuts twice and it's a fine point blade. So I've made that and I've put that in. To make one, you just go like material settings, add new material, and then you like put in the number I just said. So we'll go laminate sticker paper. I just leave it at default because my blade's still pretty good. And what you want to do is just pop it in and click the button. So once that's done, you can grab a corner and peel off the paper. I do have all the tools, but I just find doing it like this easier and much quicker. Here we go. So these are the matte printable vinyl stickers with laminate on top. And they're semi-waterproof. Well, I mean, they are pretty much waterproof. I just wouldn't put them in the dishwasher or, you know, soak them or anything. So now I'll show you how to make the glossy paper. Okay, very similar to how we just did the laminate one. We're just gonna print stickers again, but this time on the glossy vinyl. So just pretty much doing the exact same thing. Going rear tray, going plain paper. Once the glossy paper has printed out, you'll want to let it sit for quite a bit. I've let this sit for maybe 10 minutes. I think it's all dry. This, as I said, is the glossy printable vinyl. It is a lot thinner than like the laminated version that I usually do, obviously because there's laminate on there. So I'm just grabbing the Cricut mat again, pop that on. You can use all the Cricut tools, but I don't because I'm lazy. Here we go, and we'll pop that in the machine. The glossy printable sticker paper. What you want to do is do the printable sticker paper in white. I'll just go into the settings to show you all again, material settings. So that's at 222 for the cut pressure. Just leave it at default, and I'm just going to press go on the Cricut. Then we just peel these off. Again, comes off pretty easily. Because these ones aren't as thick as the laminate ones, I'm just going to use the spatula just to make sure I don't like bend them too much. There we go. So these are the glossy printable vinyl. So these are also water resistant, but I wouldn't say they're scratch resistant because they don't have any like protective coating, unlike these ones that we just did before, which are the laminate. Yeah, the final method I'm going to show you is just normal sticker paper, and we won't use a Cricut. All you'll need is like a Word document and a printer. With this one, I'm using the same sticker as this design. So if you skipped from the start of the video, it will probably have taken you here, and I'll grab my computer and we'll pop this on a Word document. Grab your photo. Because it's saved as a PNG, there's like actually no sort of like background. You can put stuff behind it. I'll show you what I mean. See, I can get like really close and it sort of like overlaps. So yeah, there's no like white box around it. By the way, this is Pages, which comes with the Mac. It's pretty much exactly the same as Word, but it's not. So, alright, so that's around 7 centimeters. I'm gonna just change it to exactly 7, and I'm gonna delete that one. So I'm just gonna copy and paste these. I usually use Control C and Control V though. You don't want them too close to each other, otherwise you won't be able to cut around them. I'm just gonna space them out quite a lot. So obviously I can fit a lot more than this on this page, but just for this example, I'm gonna use it like this. I'm gonna print this page. I'm just gonna use that paper that I showed you just before. It's just a normal sort of printer sticker paper, very cheap from eBay. I purchased about 500 of these for about $80, like maybe last year. Yeah, it's really cheap. It's meant for like labels and like printing shipping labels and stuff. There we go. So got these. Now you can leave them like this, or you can laminate them as well if you have a laminator, or if you have like thick sticky tape, the type that's like quite wide, you can actually stick that over and it'll give it a nice glossy finish, and also protect it from scratches and whatnot. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to do that before we do this next step, but this next step is cutting them out. So just get some normal scissors. If you did decide to either put sticky tape over them to make them glossy or laminate them, it would probably turn out a lot better because they'll be a little bit thicker. But I mean, if they're just like a notebook and whatnot, they'll be fine. What you want to do is just very carefully cut around them and leave a border. Obviously with this, it's going to be a little bit hard and your hands might hurt after a while if you do too many. So just make sure to take regular breaks, and it'll probably be a bit difficult to get them all very symmetrical. And I'll just point out that if you were doing this with glossy paper, make sure you let it dry completely before you attempt this, because you'll smudge it everywhere. Because this is matte paper, it dries pretty quickly, so I shouldn't have any problems with ink smudging if I touch my fingers on it. But if it was glossy, it would take maybe 24 hours to completely dry. So just keep that in mind if you are making stickers with glossy paper and don't have like a laminate over the top or even sticky tape. So stickers without a Cricut machine and just normal sort of sticker paper. These would be really good for just decorating your notebook or stuff that won't be in the weather or get wet, even your laptop really. So there we go, we've got the normal sort of sticker paper without any like laminate or anything, which was done by hand. Then we've got the laminated vinyl matte paper, which was cut with the Cricut, and then we've just got the printable glossy vinyl paper, also cut by the Cricut. Pretty stickers and super easy to do. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Hopefully it was beneficial to anyone that was looking to start making stickers or just want to know how they're made behind the scenes. This is my way of making stickers, or 3 different ways that I can make stickers. There's obviously a lot more different ways and even maybe cheaper ways to make stickers. So I'm not saying this is the best way. This is just the way I've been doing it. But yeah, well, I hope you guys did enjoy that one. And there's more tutorials and business advice coming up. And of course, heaps more vlogs. Anyway, bye!